Hello! I'm just getting all my lives started because I decided, why am I not going on Facebook on Instagram Live too? Because I have a whole Instagram Blee family or sugar-free, flour-free family on there, all my friends. So we're starting on there. I'm going to just share the video to the recipe page because I have a lot of friends on there too, and you guys are always up for yummy recipes and ideas, and you guys inspire me all the time. I see all your yummy things. So let me just share that on there so you guys can see too. We're just gonna get everybody together. Click this on. Yes, hello, thank you for joining. We're gonna get cooking here in a second. We're gonna make pesto falafels. There we go, we're up on the recipe site, we're up on Facebook, we're up on Instagram, we're up everywhere. So let's get cooking. So we're gonna start with our pesto falafels. Now you could bake these in the oven or you can fry them in a skillet, but my favorite way and the easiest thing, I got this at a garage sale. As you can tell, I really like to garage sale, and it's that time of year around here in Minnesota. So this is a pancake maker. Somebody had asked me, what does a pancake maker look like? Well, this is it. So it has 4 little slots for pancakes. It doesn't get as crispy as like a skillet would or if you would bake it, but if you let it sit in there long enough, it does get pretty crispy. So I'm gonna plug this in, and there's no heat settings or anything. You just turn it on and get it going. It's a Toastmaster pancake maker. But again, you could cook these in a skillet on the oven, or you could bake these. I would do them like 375 for about 25-30 minutes. You could even cook them in an air fryer. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm going to. Kimberly, hi from Northern Ontario. Got my cookbooks today. Yay, Kimberly! I'm so excited for you to dig in and start cooking some yummy recipes. And hello from Canada. Marze, your carrot cake recipe is amazing. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. Oh, you can't really go wrong with cake, carrot cake. And I mean sugar-free, flour-free. You get to eat that and lose weight at the same time. Win-win, right? Who doesn't like yummy recipes? So let's dig into these pesto falafels. So what you're gonna need, I printed out the recipe because it's not in a cookbook yet, so I'm letting you in on this early. So it's chickpeas, aquafaba, which is the juice from the can, some fresh basil. I just went out in my garden and just picked some right now. And I don't think you can really use too much basil, so I'd say about like 7 to 10 leaves, or I just picked like a handful of like just basil leaves. Whoops. So I'm gonna wash these and then we're gonna dice them up. So I just have a bowl of vinegar. That's how I wash my fresh fruits and vegetables. And then I rinse them in some fresh water, because vinegar kills germs and whatever else is out there. Squeeze that a little bit. So we have our pancake maker heating. You could be heating a skillet with a little bit of oil. Oh, Aunt Patty. This is my Aunt Patty. Hi, Aunt Patty. Aw, thanks. So we're going to get a bowl. I always start with a bowl. And then, so we heat and lightly oil our pancake maker. I haven't oiled it yet. Tandalin, hey, I'm so glad you're doing this. I have all your cookbooks. Oh, Tandalin, I'm so excited. Megan, hello from Toronto. Oh, so exciting. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be fun. So if you're just joining, we're heating a pancake maker, a skillet, or you can preheat your oven. Somebody shared a picture that I can't see, but that's okay. We're just going to keep going. So we are going to get our scale here, and we're going to put our bowl on here. I have a can of chickpeas. You could use fresh soaked chickpeas. I don't know how that would turn out. I've only used the canned chickpeas. So we're going to go with this. We're going to open it. Now, you don't want to get rid of all of the so the juice in here is called aquafaba, and it's kind of a vegan thing. You can use it. It acts like an egg in recipes, or you can whip it and it gets kind of frothy. It takes like 7 to 10 minutes, or even like up to 15 minutes to get it nice and frothy. and then it acts like an egg white. So we're gonna save this juice because we're gonna use it for later. So I'm gonna get another bowl. We're gonna just pour some of the juice in because we're gonna use a little bit of that for our falafels. Good enough. So I'm gonna turn my scale on, and we're gonna do 6 ounces chickpeas in our bowl, not including the juice. We just want the beans. So we got 3, 4, 5, 1 more ounce. Perfect, 6 ounces chickpeas. Then we're gonna do 3 tablespoons of our aquafaba, which is the juice from the can. Janet, what is the juice called? This juice in the can is called aquafaba. You can find like vegan recipes that use aquafaba. It's a weird thing, but it works in cooking. And for me, I don't really taste it. Now, I made some recipes that my mom and sister had, and they were like, ew, what is that flavor? It does have a little bit of a beany flavor, but it doesn't overtake things. So when you bake them in things, you don't really notice that they're there. Unless you would tell somebody, and they're like, ew, aquafaba. So we're gonna do 3 tablespoons of this in our beans. And then when you store the rest of your beans in your fridge, like later, you can just have the juice in with the beans and just store them all in the same container. So we got that. Now we're gonna do a pinch of garlic salt. You could do a fresh clove of garlic if you want. Oops, this is onion powder. That does not work. Let me grab my garlic salt. You could do 1 clove of garlic and then a pinch of salt, but I'm going to do a pinch of garlic salt because it's got both right in it. Then we're going to take our basil leaves. So I have them, they're washed. You can get these at grocery stores, fresh basil leaves, or you could use dried basil. You might want to use a lot more, maybe like 2 tablespoons of dried basil to get that pesto-y flavor, but the best is going to be fresh basil. So we're just going to lightly dice this just a little bit to help with the blending process later. I'm doing about, I'd say there's about 10 to 15 leaves. You could use less, you could use more. I don't think you could really overuse basil because it's just so yummy. So we're just gonna throw in our diced basil right into our bowl of beans here. Then we're going to take 1 ounce total of spinach and onion. So I have some fresh spinach here. You could use frozen spinach also, but fresh works too, so we're gonna 0 our scale and add just a little bit of this, and then just a little bit of onion. If I start crying, it's because the recipe's just that good. I'm just kidding. My favorite are the Vidalia or the sweet onions. Are they called yellow onions, sweet onions? Is that a difference? But mine are the Vidalia onions. I'm gonna get the peeling off. We want just a little bit of this, just so it equals 1 ounce. And again, you don't have to dice it small because we're going to be blending all of this up. 0.8. A little more onion. You just want 1 ounce total of onion and spinach. 1 ounce. Whew, this is a stinky onion. We're going to put this over here so I don't start crying. Okay, so we have all our ingredients in our bowl. You're going to want kind of a big bowl. Kathy, hi from Texas. Hi, Kathy from Texas. Oh, air fryer friend, you inspired me to make all these air fryer recipes because you had air fried vegetables and they were crispy and they looked amazing. And I'm like, hey, I need to get in on this. And now I'm a little obsessed with my air fryer. I just kind of look at all my ingredients in my kitchen. I'm like, will that air fry? It will. It will. I'll try it. I made air fried pancakes today. So that was a fun experiment. Megan, aquafaba. Yes, Megan C, it's called aquafaba. Thank you. So I have a little hand You could use a regular blender or even a food processor, but my favorite is this little tool right here. I got it for my birthday just off of Amazon. So we're gonna plug this in. And now we're just gonna blend all this up till it's nice and smooth. So we got our basil, spinach, onion, aquafaba, and beans in here. Now the trick is not to get this to splatter everywhere. Linda, I found if you leave the root end on the onion when you cut it, it doesn't make your eyes water. That's a cool tip because that stuff stings and I don't like it. I've also found if you have, I don't even know what it's called, the exhaust fan over your oven, if you cut your onion over there and you have the exhaust fan on, that helps take the fumes away and then you don't cry as much and it doesn't sting your eyes because that stuff hurts for a long time. Becky, hi from Kansas. Hi, Becky in Kansas. So fun having you here. All right, so now we're going to blend this up. I have it kind of on a medium-low setting on the blender because I don't want it to fling everywhere, but we'll see. Make sure you get all the beans because we don't want any big pieces left. Okay, I think that's good. So I'm going to take my spoon and scrape it all off the blender. If there are some pieces, that's okay because falafels aren't like, oh no, there's a chunk of bean or something in there. That's still going to taste yummy. But you don't want like one huge chunk of onion. That wouldn't be as tasty. But if there are some little bit bigger hunks of things, that's okay. Or you could keep blending until you get it perfectly smooth. So there are just, that's a train. There are just some hunks of like spinach and things. So this is what it should look like. It looks horrible, but it's going to taste really good. It's a lovely color green. So now I'm going to take just some spray olive oil and I'm just going to lightly spray my pancake maker. It's nice and hot. Top and bottom. And now I'm going to just kind of put a fourth in each of the little pancake holes. Let me move this so you can see. Marcy, wow, you're good. I thought it was going to go everywhere. That's exactly how I do it. You know what? I've had that happen many times, especially if it's just beans and nothing else in it. The beans are kind of dry and then you turn it on and it just beans everywhere. But hey, it's kind of fun. So I kind of put my hand, so I don't blend my fingers. I kind of put my hand like this over the blender so it kind of covers it, but stuff still flies out. I mean, it's always an adventure cooking, right? Connie, is this your cookbook? Sorry if you've mentioned it. I joined late. Oh, is this in your cookbook? And then Molly from Montenegro, Europe. Oh, thanks for joining me, Molly, all the way from Europe. So this recipe is not in a cookbook yet, but I thought I'd let you in on it a little early because it's really yummy. But I do have a falafel recipe coming in one of the cookbooks. It's either an 8 or a 9. I'm not exactly sure. It might be coming in volume 9. I'm just kind of starting putting that one together now because volume 8 is finished and it's done. It's published on Barnes & Noble, so you can get in on volume 8 now at barnesandnoble.com. You just search Weight Loss Recipes Cookbook by Natalie All, and volume 8 is finished and ready to order on there. There are still some printing delays for me, so I'm waiting for it to be printed and shipped to me, so it might be a little bit, but you can also pre-order a cookbook on my website, and then as soon as they arrive, then I'll ship them out to you. My website is weightlossrecipescookbook.com, so that's exciting. And you can find a recipe index for volume 8. You can find a food gallery for volume 8 on my website, so you can see everything that's in it and be like, ooh, drool a little bit, see it. And my sister designed the cover. It's so pretty. It's revamped. Okay, back to cooking. So we're going to put a fourth of this in each pancake mold and just kind of flatten it a little because we want it a round shape like a pancake. And we want it flat because it'll cook even. So you could do this in a skillet. You could do this on a lined baking pan or a lightly oiled baking pan and bake it. Whichever works for you. I would not recommend a waffle maker. I tried that and it stuck and it crumbled. It did get crispy. It did taste good, but it looked horrible. So I do not recommend doing it in a waffle maker. But pancake maker works perfectly because there's not all those little divots for things to get caught in. So I have a little bit more falafel to put in here. So we'll just kind of add to the ones that are smaller than the rest. And when we eat this way, we only eat 3 meals, we want to make sure we get every little drop out of this bowl. Am I right or am I right? Just smoosh it out onto there. So now I'm going to close this and let this cook for about 7 to 15 minutes because I want it nice and crispy. Let's see the comments. Connie, will you post the ingredients of this one for us? I can post the ingredients. Once this video is finished, then I can post the ingredients in the live video, or you can just re-watch it again and be like, this is what's in it. It's not too much. It's chickpeas. You can re-watch it and find it. Marcy, I can hear her fine. Uh-oh. Sometimes, Gail, is her volume low to anyone besides me? Uh-oh. Kimberly, how is maintenance going? It's going good. It feels really wrong to be adding food, but especially because your first add on maintenance is a grain at breakfast. So, I mean, a grain at lunch. You already have a grain at breakfast. Is a grain at lunch. So it feels like having breakfast at lunch sometimes, which feels wrong, but oh so right. And it definitely is a mental processing because you think when you get to goal weight, you're like, yes, I've made it. The angels are singing. It's this huge celebration, but it's like, okay, this is it. I guess I'm here. It's goal weight, not really goal body yet, because there's things that need to tone up and get used to it. And it's definitely a process, but it's going well. I have energy again. I feel amazing again. For a while there, I'm like, what is the deal? I have no energy. I feel like I'm going through detox. And then I thought, you know what? I think it's time to start maintenance. So I have, and I feel great. I feel like I could conquer the world. Just one simple ad. So far it's going great. Thanks for asking. So while this is cooking, let's start on our pineapple upside down cake pops. Now, it's not cake, but you know, upside down cake. It's just, I put these words in there not to trigger you, but so you kind of know, what is this? Kind of like that. So you know, oh, it's kind of like an upside down cake. So I'm going to move this. We don't need the blender anymore. We're done with this bowl. Okay. So I have this popsicle mold. You're going to need a popsicle mold. My favorite is this one. I scored it in a clearance section at Walmart for like 50 cents. I bet you could find it like at a dollar store or on Amazon. Just, you could look it up. I'm not sure what they call it, that it's the flat thing instead of like the dip popsicles where you have it this way and then you dip your thing in. These things come off, so it's kind of handy. And they're in little pineapple shapes. I mean, who doesn't like that? It's kind of cute. I saw it and I'm like, I have to get that. Anyways, so we're going to take our popsicle molds and we're going to place them on our scale. You guys can see this. Ooh, falafel. That was squishy. So I'm going to take these little things out because I found a pineapple ring fits perfectly in the little pineapple base here. So I'm going to zero our scale and we're going to put one pineapple slice in each hole here, because this is going to determine how much cherries we get afterwards. Now you could just do 3 ounces pineapple, then 3 ounces cherries, which one ring of pineapple is about 1 ounce. So it's pretty close. So we're going to just place our pineapple ring in here. If you don't have a popsicle mold, you could make this as a yogurt bark also. So this came to 3.6 ounces. So we're going to remember 3.6 ounces. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can do 2.4 ounces of cherries. We get to do math too. We get to use our brains and we get to taste things. So I'm going to set this to the side. So here we have our little pineapples in here. See the little pineapple rings? We have them in here. So I'm going to set this to the side. We're going to take a bowl and we're going to do 2.4 ounces cherries. But like I said again, you could do exactly 3 ounces each. Just cut a little tish off your pineapples. Or I like to you could make this as a yogurt bark if you don't have a pineapple mold. I would take a plate, line it with wax paper, then maybe chop up your pineapples to have little chunks and place them all on your plate. And then you would pour this next mixture on top. So now we're going to do 2.4 ounces of cherries. And I like to use frozen cherries because I know they're not going to rot in my fridge while I'm waiting to eat them. And I like to get the organic cherries, but that's just me. It's 2.6. 2.4. And I get the organic, and they're the sweet, dark sweet cherries. They're so good. They're so yummy. Heather Olson. So funny. I bought them on clearance at Walmart as well. Always on the lookout for fun recipes. For fun recipe development tools. Heather, me too. That is like my goal. Anywhere I go, like garage sales or thrift stores or any stores, I'm always like, ooh, what's on clearance? Ooh, what tools do they have that I can, I don't know. It's always so fun to find something new. Like this pancake maker, found at a garage sale. The air fryer, found at a garage sale. These popsicle molds, found in clearance. I don't know, it just makes it fun to have something new, something fun. Okay, so we have our cherries. Now we're going to add a splash of vanilla. And I'm still out of vanilla extract, but I'm going to use almond extract. You could use a coconut extract. That sounds good. I'm going to use a coconut extract instead. Just that suggestion just sounded really good. So we're just going to do a splash in with our cherries. Just a boop. And then just a little bit of sea salt. Because sea salt brings out the sweetness in foods. Ooh, I have a hair. We don't want hair in our food. So we have our cherries with our coconut extract. You can use vanilla extract, almond extract, no extract, whatever you want to do. A pinch of salt. And we're going to microwave this for 1 minute. Get it nice and saucy. Then we're going to use Greek yogurt. Now, my favorite brand of Greek yogurt is the Aldi's brand. This is what it looks like. It's whole milk. It's so thick, so creamy. It's my favorite. It doesn't really have that. Some people say that some Greek yogurts have like that sour taste. This one doesn't for me. I really like it. Friendly Farms. It has like a red top that you peel off. The Walmart brand whole milk Greek yogurt's pretty good too. That's usually kind of rare to find by me, but then I'll just, if I can't get to Aldi's or Aldi's is out, then I cry a little bit on the inside. But then I'll get like the Walmart brand, just plain Greek yogurt. It works. It's not my favorite, but it works. So this, after this, then we're going to add our yogurt to the cherries. So I'm going to place these back on my popsicle mold. Wait, I'm going to wait. So we got to put some stuff in there. Don't burn your fingers. So we're going to zero the scale, and we're going to put 6 ounces plain Greek yogurt, because this is going to be for a breakfast, and this recipe is going to be for a whole breakfast. So we're going to do 6 ounces. Ooh, too much. Not enough. 6 ounces, perfect. Then we're going to mix this so we get, ooh, that's hot on the bottom. Don't burn yourself. So we're going to mix it so that we get cherry flavored yogurt. So if you were doing a yogurt bark, you would just pour this on top of your pineapple little bits. You could use fresh pineapple. I just got canned pineapple because fresh pineapple is a lot of work and then it's rotten by the time I get to half of it. And so my favorite is the canned or frozen. Frozen pineapple is pretty good. Okay, so we have our mixture, our cherry mixture. Doesn't that just look so yummy? So now we're going to pour this on top of our pineapples here. I want to get one little cherry in each of the little pineapple holes because it just looks cute. And it fits just perfectly. So I'm going to just push a cherry in there. In each one. And then I'm going to place these little things back on top so that they're nice and flat. Ooh. Have you ever had it where you made your food, it was beautiful, and then you dropped your plate? I've only done that once. That was really sad. It wasn't like a really in-depth recipe, but I had made, it was a long time ago, I made spaghetti squash, and I've had like this cheese on it, and blah, blah, blah. I was walking, and I dropped the whole bowl. I'm like, oh no, I weighed and measured all this. But don't cry over spilled spaghetti squash. So we're going to pour our mixture all in our popsicle molds. We kind of want it evenly. So many cherries per so many mold in each one. I'm going to get a spatula because a fork is just not cutting it. And our falafels are still cooking. I don't think you could really overcook these things, especially in the pancake maker. Now, if you were baking them or in a skillet, you probably could. But with the pancake maker, you can leave them in there a pretty long time. I think I forgot about one for like 20 minutes once, and it was okay. It was nice and crispy. Okay, we want to get all of this pretty even in our molds. So as I'm doing this, think of what recipes that I should make next. Should I make one from my cookbook? If you have a favorite recipe or a recipe that you're like, ooh, I want to see that made. Or maybe you want to see a soup recipe. Maybe a meat recipe. I don't know. I think sometime we're going to have to do a grilling recipe because I'm really liking my grill right now. My family has never been really good grillers. We usually burn the food, but I got a little electric grill at a garage sale, of course. And I have been using that thing all summer. It's been amazing. Grilled chicken. I made steaks. We've never been able to grill steaks until now. Okay. I've been doing burgers on there. Just a lot of yummy things. You can grill fruit. You can grill vegetables. Grilled vegetables are yummy. So if there's a recipe you want to see, let me know in the comments. You can also hit the subscribe button that will subscribe so the next time I make a live video, you'll get a notification so you don't miss it. So hit the subscribe, hit the like, share with your friends. Okay, so we have our yogurt nice and spread out in our molds. I dare not tip it too much. Debbie, is there a chili recipe? I do have a chili recipe. I think I might have 2 or 3 different chili recipes in my cookbook. So maybe we'll have to make a chili. That would be fun. Sherry, would love to see you make any dinner recipes. Chili, dinner chili. I mean, hey, that's yummy. These are really good. I like these. Julie, thank you for sharing. I've missed yogurt because I find Greek yogurt sour. We'll try with fruit. Yes. Don't eat Greek yogurt by itself. It's kind of like sour cream. The first time we tried it, we were on vacation and we thought, oh, we got fresh blueberries. We'll just put it in the Greek yogurt, mix it. And this was before we started eating no sugar and flour. So foods didn't really taste as sweet now. We tasted it. It was horrible. I'm like, ugh, this is like sour cream and unsweet blueberries. Try bananas mashed with it. Bananas mashed in Greek yogurt is amazing. Aunt Patty said, the bark recipe that everyone is posting about. Oh, the Java bark. Okay, Java bark and chili. That'll be next week. I kind of want to do this every week. It's kind of fun. All right, so now we're going to make our like crunchy topping on these. So this is why I like these popsicle molds better than like the dip popsicle molds, because where do you put all your crunchies on top? It either gets in the bottom and then it just kind of falls apart, or it gets in the bottom and then it gets all soggy, or you put it on top and there's not enough room. So that's why I kind of like these flat open ones, or the yogurt bark. That works really nice. You don't even need a popsicle mold, just a little bit of wax paper or parchment paper. Stick the whole plate in the freezer, and then the plate is frozen and it keeps your bark nice and cold while you're eating it, because it takes a long time to eat this. So I'm going to use this same bowl because it's just yogurt and it's going to go on top of the yogurt anyways. So we're going to use this same bowl and we're going to crush up 1 ounce of shredded wheat. Now, I found shredded wheat just at my local Walmart, and I'm almost out. I have to get more. If you just look at the ingredients, it should be like 1 or 2 ingredients, just like shredded wheat, and pretty much that's it. It should just be wheat. If there's any like added sugars and stuff, that is not the brand to get. Don't get that brand. Sherry, yogurt bark, yes! Yes, Sherry. I went on a yogurt bark kick for a long time. Oh, yogurt bark was so good. I just still like it. Yep, we're going to make Java bark. That's what we're going to do. Java bark and chili next week. So tune in next Thursday, 2:30 p.m. for some chili and Java bark. Maybe chili. I mean, we'll work on that. I'll see what I have in my kitchen, but chili is a good thing. And I'll show you how to batch cook it and make it big, because usually I'm cooking for, especially dinners, because there's 3 of us ladies who eat this way, weighed, measured, no sugar, no flour. So usually I multiply everything times 3. So you'll get to see how to do that. So we're going to do 1 ounce shredded wheat. So you get, they're like the little Wheaties. You know, we used to eat these as cereal, but you get 1 ounce for this. So I'm going to crush them up. It's kind of fun. It's a good stress reliever. All the things that happened this week just go, grr, no. And then you get the pre-crushed stuff right on the bottom. If you don't have shredded wheat, uncooked oats work, oh, I just spilled everywhere. Uncooked oats work perfectly for this too. I tried Puff Kamut, I tried Uncle Sam's cereal, but I think my favorites were the shredded wheat and the uncooked oats for these yogurt barks. The texture in the morning is just my favorite. Uh-oh. So, I don't have enough shredded wheat for 1 ounce, but that's okay because I'll just get some uncooked oats. It's kind of fun. Let me grab my oats. Sometimes it's fun to do like half and half of a grain. Do half shredded wheat, half oats, or sometimes I like to do half Puff Kamut, half Uncle Sam's cereal on like parfaits and stuff in the morning. That's really fun because then I like variety and I like texture and I like all that stuff. Nancy, I like to toast my oats. Oh, yes, toasted oats on this would be good. They might get a little soggy freezing overnight, but they still, just the flavor might be really good. Brittany, oh, I love you too, Brittany. So fun having you here. Okay, so we have, this took a long time to get to our shredded wheat, but we have our shredded wheat. Now we want half an ounce of peanut butter. So we're going to do half an ounce of peanut butter. Just mix it up because this is the bottom, so it's a little bit stiff because I use all the drizzly stuff on top and then the bottom's left and it's hard. But that's okay. This is like semi-drizzly. So we want half an ounce because it'll all work out. It's going to be smushed in anyways. Woo. That's perfectly half an ounce. Then we're going to do a pinch of salt. Oh, the scale just moved. It must have been right on the edge. We're going to do just one more little ploop. It's a new measurement. It's a ploop. All right, pinch of salt. And now we're going to mix this all up so we get all our shredded wheat nice and coated with the peanut butter. Kind of looks like straw, but it tastes really good. It stays pretty crunchy in the morning when you have your popsicles in. You have your pops. This is so fun cooking with you guys. Okay, so we're getting it nice and mixed. Sometimes it'll clump, but that's okay, because then in the morning as you're eating it, you get a hunk of peanut butter. It's so good. Marcy had posted on the recipe site that she, like, we don't count calories, but she looked up the difference between tahini, peanut butter, and then almond butter. and peanut butter had the least amount of calories. And then my sister said that peanut butter has less calories than pecans. I didn't know that. Because I always thought peanut butter, oh, don't have peanut butter very often because it might slow down weight loss or because it's really high in calories. But it's less than tahini or pecans or almond butter. So that kind of justified, okay, peanut butter is okay. Especially if your weight loss is still ticking along and it's going well, then have your peanut butter. Okay, so we're going to sprinkle our peanut butter mixture. Here's what it kind of looks like. Nice and crumbly. Can you see Instagram? Okay, so we're going to sprinkle this on top, kind of try to get it a little even. Get all our pieces. Sprinkle this on top. And then we should probably check on our falafels. See how they're going. Ooh, don't lose your... And when you crush shredded wheat, you get a lot for 1 ounce. It looks more than when you just do them whole, because then you get like, what, 6 or 10 little nuggets of shredded wheat? For a quantities person like me, I like quantities and I like my food to look big because it does something with my brain that makes it happy. And tells it, oh, you're not hungry, look at all the food you just ate. Okay, so then we're gonna lightly press our wheat mixture into our yogurt. So it's nice and sticky. So when we eat it, then it doesn't all just fall apart. Okay. Wipe my fingers off here. And that is it for the pineapple upside down pops. So then I would recommend freezing these overnight. You could try 4 to 6 hours, see if they're frozen. It kind of depends on the thickness of your shredded wheat and kind of how cold your freezer is, because we don't want these to fall apart. So then in the morning, with these popsicles, I can push this bottom pretty hard and it flexes just a little bit, and then they just pop right out. Pretty easy. Can you use agave in this? So agave does have sugar. It is a sweetener, and that is not BLE approved. It's not sugar-free or flour-free. It does crazy things to your brain. But if you are not doing bright line eating, or if you are not eating this way, you could add agave, but it's not, because it is a sweetener. So it will do crazy things to your brain. And to me, this is sweet enough with the pineapple and the cherries. The cherries and pineapple are very sweet fruits. So to me, I wouldn't add anything to it. I mean, I've seen recipes where they'll add honey or maple syrup, but again, that's a sweetener, and that does crazy things to your blood sugar, crazy things to your brain, and it brings cravings. And I hate cravings. They're not very fun. Okay, so we made our popsicles. I'm going to stick these in the freezer and they'll be breakfast tomorrow. Now let's check on our falafels. They are definitely done, hopefully. Ooh, can you see that? Is that viewable? You can see it. Look at them. So I'm going to get a spatula, get a plate, and let's... Now with the pancake maker, it kind of cooks more on the bottom than it does on the top. So you could flip these and cook them again for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes or so. Marie, can I eat all 3 popsicles? Yes, you can. That's the best part about my recipes. Not just my recipes, but a lot of people, like the cookbooks and stuff, is my recipes usually for 1 whole meal. So if you're making like popsicles or the muffins or the cookies, you get to eat all of them. I have a pumpkin pie recipe. You get to eat that whole pie. I mean, who doesn't like to eat a whole pie for lunch? That is the best. But yes, this right here is 1 whole breakfast. It has all your protein, all your grain, all your fruit, complete breakfast right here, right in popsicles. Or in a yogurt bark if you make that. That looks bigger and it's really yummy too. Ah! She did like little celebration, like confetti stuff. Awesome. Thanks so much. You're welcome. All right, so let's see these falafels. Ooh, yes. So I'll show you one side compared to the other. Look at that. They just popped right out. Now in a skillet, I'm not exactly sure how easy they'll be to flip because I've only made them in my pancake maker, but baking them would be super easy because it would just bake them evenly. So here's the pesto falafels. They are molten lava right now. So here's the one side. Ooh. Here's the bottom. They smell so good. And then here's the top. So like I said, the top doesn't get cooked as much in the pancake maker, but I've done it where I flipped it in here and then cooked it a little bit longer, and it was great. But for me, these are great. I'm not really I have to have my food crispy. I kind of like doughy and soft kind of foods. Kathy, can you use something besides spinach, kale maybe, or something else? I have a spinach allergy. Ooh, yeah, don't use spinach then if you have an allergy. Definitely, you could leave it out completely. I've left it out completely and it's fine. You could use kale. You could use any other type of greens because you're gonna blend it up. So like kale is kind of thicker, coarser, harder of the greens. So that like in a salad isn't very good by itself unless you like give it a nice massage. I mean, who wouldn't like a massage? But if you massage your kale, then it gets kind of softer. But yeah, you could leave it out completely if you want. Because I've made different kinds of falafels. I've made barbecue cheese. That was really good with Stubbs sugar-free barbecue sauce and like a little bit of cheese. I don't think I used, or maybe I used that as my fat. Something like that. I don't exactly remember. I have the recipe written somewhere. But yeah, that was really yummy. But yeah, you can do different flavors. You could do anything. You can make these sweet. Let's see. Heather says pumpkin pie in her volume 2 is my favorite of Natalie's recipes. It got me through the holiday season last year without feeling like I was deprived from pumpkin yumminess. Oh, Heather, I'm so glad. Yes, I think I made that during like the holiday season too, when I kind of created that recipe because I'm like, hey, I like pumpkin pie. I'm a pumpkin pie. And I had tried a different pumpkin recipe that was a Blee lady had made it and posted on the recipe site. I don't remember what it was or who it was. That's not the point. But I had it and I'm like, ooh, what is this? I didn't like it very much. So I'm like, okay, I can make a pumpkin pie. Because my dad makes not real pumpkin pies, but he makes pumpkin pies where you add the flour and the sugar and the blah, blah, blah. But he'll make it like a pumpkin pudding without any crust. And I'm like, if he can do it, I can make a pumpkin pie. So that's where that came from. And yes, it definitely gets you through the holiday season, right? Because who doesn't like to have pumpkin pie with everybody else? It's so fun. So with these falafels, you get a lot of food on the side because these are for lunch. I mean, you could have these for breakfast and then just subtract 1 ounce of fruit from your fruit serving because there's 1 ounce of onion and spinach in there. So you would side this for lunch with 5 ounces vegetables, 6 ounces fruit, and a fat. So you get a lot of more food with all 4 of these little things. So who doesn't like more food? That's the best. So that's our recipes for today. Yeah, check out volume 2 of my cookbooks. I'll show you what volume 2 looks like. Now this is the old, I might have to cover this because I took this off because I was contacted that was copyright. So now it's this. This is what my cookbooks are called. Weight Loss Recipes Cookbook Volume 2. Volume 2 has the yogurt cheesecake, which I was excited. I used to make a rainbow cheesecake, but then I just decided not to put food colorings in it after a while. But I used to make like a cheesecake. Now I'm like, oh, now I started eating this way, no sugar and flour. I want cheesecake still. And I'm like, I could make that recipe work for me, and I did, and it's amazing. And it's not triggering, because I thought, uh-oh, cheesecake, is this gonna like trigger when I eat it? But since there's no sugar in it, there's nothing triggering, and it's just really satisfying. Marcy, the Pecan Pumpkin Bacon Volume 5 is awesome too. Yes, that one is the bomb. Like if you want pumpkin and you want fall, try that recipe. It's so good. Linda, yum yum. I can't wait to try both recipes. I'm so excited for you to try it too, Linda. Kathy, thank you, Natalie. Love watching you cook. Oh, thanks for joining me, Kathy. And Debbie said, love the cheesecake. Yes, me too. I love the cheesecake too. Oh, somebody else said, I was just asking about this because all the pumpkin spice stuff is coming out of the woodwork, and And I'm new to Blee this year, so I haven't gone through the fall and the holidays yet. I understand. I started October 10th, and that was right before every single one of the holidays. So it was definitely a learning process to, how do I celebrate? What do I do with these things? I mean, how do I join in with the festivities? So that's when I thought, we can have pumpkin. We can have pumpkin spice. We just can't have the sugar or flour. So I'm like, we could put this stuff together and make pumpkin yumminess and still feel included, not triggered, satisfied, and yet you get to join in with the festivities and kind of feel included. Dana, I've got to go back and watch this again. Yes, you do. Make that volume 5 pumpkin recipe in 2 weeks, please. You know what? We might have to start making some pumpkin things because pumpkin season is upon us. I mean, fall just comes. Maureen, oh, that's something else. Are the pops in a cookbook? These pineapple pops are not in a cookbook yet. I'm letting you in on the recipe early because I love you guys. And then I wanted to show you, because I'm not sure if I've showed you this yet. So this is the Simply Delicious. Now it might be backwards, but this is Simply Delicious, a 14-day meal plan, just to kind of show you what this is about. So instead of just recipes that are breakfast, lunch, dinner, sausage seasoning, sides, this is 14 days of recipes. So what you get is you still get a recipe index, but I think I updated this. So the contents say like day 1, day 2, maybe, I don't exactly remember, but I did update this book. So day 1, it tells you what you're gonna have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you don't have to be like, oh no, what do I write down for my meal plan for today? Because you're supposed to write it down the night before to prepare yourself so you're not making choices. This tells you exactly what to do for 14 whole days. So it shows you the recipe for it, the recipe for lunch, the recipe for dinner, and then I encourage you a little bit every day just to, like, you're doing it, I give you some tips, I give you some tricks, and then you go to day 2. Then, for this dinner recipe, I show you how to make it ×2. So then you're not having to cook every single night. Because for me, I got burnt out on cooking dinners every single night. So I did all the math so you can cook 2 meals in one, and then you eat half of it, and then you save the half for the next night. You could even quadruple this recipe, double this recipe, because this recipe is already doubled. Double that, and then you'd have 4 if you want. So I do that for 14 days. There are some recipes where you just make it for the one day. But it's 14 days of meals, 14 days of little encouragements to help you through 2 weeks. Because they say to make a habit, it takes, 21 days or something? So just do this twice. You can mix and match these. These really help, because I had a lot of people ask, do you have like a meal plan cookbook? I do now. Simply Delicious, a 14-day meal plan. You can find it on my website, weightlossrecipescookbook.com, and you can find recipe index. These are recipes from my volumes 1 through 6. I picked really easy recipes, really yummy recipes, and I put them together just for you. Let's see, Dana said, are the pops and falafel recipes written down somewhere? They're not, but I can I can comment the recipe in the comments below. Once this video is finished, then I'll copy and paste the recipes so then you can find them easily and make it again. Or you can watch the video again because I'm going to post it and it'll be ready to watch. I'm going to post it on my website so you can watch it again and again. Let's see what Beth said. So much of our celebrations are food related, and I'm working on planning other non-food things to be the focus. Yes, I agree. I mean, you get together, what's the first thing you think of? Oh, what food are we going to have? Or, oh, food brings people together. It just does. I don't know why. Why is our society all wrapped around food? But it is. I mean, we can try to change society, or we can just work our way around it, or do both. I mean, yes, try to make things not so food related. Do things that are lasting. Because, I mean, you eat that pie, then what do you remember the next year? You remember the relationships. You remember the laughs that you had, the fun things that you did. You don't remember the pie, unless it was like your grandma's world-class pie. But even then, you're like, oh, it's grandma's pie after a while, after you've had it a lot. Beth said, what is the cookbook and the link? So this is my cookbook. I will comment the link to you. Wait. Oops. Lost Recipes Cookbook.com. There you go, Beth. There's your link. And then, thanks for doing the demo. I will watch again for sure. That would be great to have you watch again. Yeah, definitely. You can watch it over and over, and then you can write down the it's pretty simple ingredients, pretty simple recipes. I like to keep it simply delicious. I think, no, it doesn't. Simply delicious. That would be awesome. Gail, I would love a soup recipe book. Chowders, stews, etc. Ooh, I like soups. I do have soup recipes in my cookbooks. So maybe I'll have to do like a specialty cookbook, because I have my whole food plant-based cookbook that I took all of the whole food plant-based recipes that just are naturally whole food plant-based from my cookbooks, and I put them all together into one cookbook. Now I have to show you it. This is what it looks like. This is the whole food one. So these are recipes from my volumes 1 through 5, just the whole food plant-based ones. So maybe I'll have to do that for a soup one, or maybe just like a special fall or holiday edition, because I have some pumpkin cookies that I made, or I call them pumpkin nests. I have pumpkin patches. I have a lot of holiday stuff. I have a stuffing recipe. That was really yummy. It was like a cauliflower stuffing, because we don't eat bread, or unless it's Ezekiel bread. You can have a slice of that for your morning grain. But yeah, definitely we'll have to put that together, because the holidays are definitely something to work through. It's definitely a learning process. But instead of looking at it as the food, look at it as, oh, I get to see family, or oh, I get to see the ones I love, or I get to celebrate and just have a good time together. Enjoy that. Those are the things you're actually going to remember anyways. Do something fun. Play a fun game. Go somewhere. Do something. Just have fun with it, or just enjoy each other's company, because that's the things you're really going to remember. Gail, sounds wonderful. Your recipes are great. Oh, thank you, Gail. Linda, a holiday cookbook would be great. Okay. Holiday cookbook. I'm going to work on that. That'll be fun. And then I'm putting together I finished volume 8. That's on my website, and it's now available on Barnes & Noble. If you didn't hear before, you can get that on Barnes & Noble. There's still some shipping delays due to COVID and blah, blah, blah. So it's taking a little bit to get to me. But if you pre-order from me, they will get to you as soon as they run. Gotta get them fast. But yes, and then I think I'm going to put together an air fryer cookbook, because it's my new favorite toy. But if you don't have an air fryer, that's okay, because I will have modifications in there, or how to do it in your oven too. Because, I mean, not everybody has an air fryer, or everybody even likes an air fryer. So I will make it so it is both. So you'll still get yummy new recipes, but for the air fryer and for the oven. So that's just some things that I have up my sleeve. But yeah, holiday cookbook, that would be really fun. And then just to write some things that helped me through the holiday. I remember the first holiday was Thanksgiving, when I started No Sugar, No Flour. And us 3 girls, because we all started together, we all live in the same house. And we're like, what do we do? Do we have a big Thanksgiving dinner? We don't know what to do. What do we do with these things? What do we do with our time? So I think the boys took my uncle out to eat. They left. And then my sister surprised us, and she put together a little box, and it had, I think it had like a little ramekin, a little container thing, and then some like jewelry, just to kind of celebrate. So that's kind of one of our new little things that we like to do. I think Valentine's, I surprised my whole family, and I got them a gift, and I was so excited to get them gifts. I didn't even care. I don't think anybody even got me anything. I didn't care. I was just so excited that I secretly got them like little things that they would like. I think I got my sister and my mom, I think I got them like little tea samplers. I got a couple different of my favorite teas, and I put them together. And then I got them, oh, I don't know, I think like a piece of jewelry, or just something that I knew that they would like. And I put that together, and I wrapped it, and I hid it in my room, and I'm like, can't wait till Valentine's Day, because I wanted to give them something, and I did. And it was so memorable and so rewarding. And then I didn't even care that I didn't get all the sweets and blah, blah, blah. And stuff that doesn't even like hit the spot or even last. So those are just some ideas. I don't know, get somebody a gift, help somebody, serve in a food kitchen. Just do something that'll be memorable instead of making the whole event around food. Because it's still going to be around food, but you do something for yourself that's not around food. It's always fun. Beth, do your recipes show things like one fruit, one protein, etc.? They do. Let me show you. I'll show you the Simply Delicious. So the first recipe is a banana berry chia overnight oats. So here we see that the recipe, now it might be flipped for you. It says full, what does it say? 6 ounces total, banana, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. So you would put 6 ounces in your bowl, and that says full fruit. So I do say what each thing equals, so you know that if it's something you can't eat, you could switch something out for it. That's one of the main reasons I put what each thing equals. And then if the recipe does not contain your whole meal in it, I say down here, side with blah, 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 for a complete breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever it would be. And some people have messaged me that I accidentally put, it was a lunch recipe, and I said side with blah, blah, blah for a complete lunch, or for a complete breakfast, but it was a lunch recipe, so it's in the lunch section. I mean, accidents happen, so. I love that recipe, my new fave. Oh, thank you, Linda. Yeah, that one's really yummy. I like overnight things because then in the morning, you're tired, you just want to eat and get on with your day. You just grab it, put some stuff on top, and you're ready to go. Gail, how long did it take you to get to maintenance? So today is like day 687. I started October 10th last year, and I think it was October 10th, but today is like 600 something. So it wasn't a perfect journey. I mean, if you're traveling, you're not going to be able to do your lines perfectly, but it was definitely, I stuck as well as I could to my lines and to eating just what I measured, just what I had planned. So it did take me that long. And then I thought, oh, when I get to weight loss, I'll be like Barbie, I'll be a model, everything will be toned and nice. But, I mean, hey, there's some jiggly stuff, but I heard that it can take up to a year for skin to tighten. So, just waiting for things. But nobody's perfect. I've seen really, really skin people have jiggly arms and stuff. So, everybody, it's not gonna be like goal body. You just do what you are happy with. And you'll get there. I just did the same steps everybody else did. I didn't do anything special. I just 3 meals a day, exactly what I planned. I mean, traveling, eating out, kind of wing it as much as you can. But yeah, so that's how long it took me. Beth said, awesome and perfect. Yes, so exciting. It was so fun cooking with you today. Made our falafels and our pops. I'm going to go put these in the freezer for tomorrow. If you make these now, you could put them in the freezer, have breakfast tomorrow. You could do different fruits. It doesn't have to be cherries and pineapple. It could be strawberries and pineapple, raspberries and pineapple, blueberries and bananas, whatever fruit you want. It's really good. These are one of my favorite things because you get a lot of food for breakfast. You get 6 ounces Greek yogurt and then stuff with it. So I'm a quantities person, so that really hits that quantity spot for me. Gail, you're an inspiration to us all. Oh, Gail, you're so sweet. Blessings to you. Oh, thank you, Gail. Blessings to you too. I mean, I hope that all your journeys on this weight loss life lesson journey, that you all just are blessed and that you have a nice journey and enjoy the little things. Because I just want to tell you, when I got to goal, we all have in our minds this, oh, I get to go, like there's going to be confetti and everybody's going to celebrate and you're going to be like, yay. But it was kind of like, oh, okay, this is just another step to something. So I'm glad that I enjoyed the little things along the way. Like when something would fit looser than it did before, I'd be like, oh, Mom, guess what? My pants are loose or something, or my shirt is loose, or oh, I have to get rid of this favorite piece of clothing because it doesn't fit anymore. So it's definitely a process, and enjoy the little things along the way. Because if you're not going to be content and happy now, you won't be content and happy at goal. Because happiness is a choice that you make. And it definitely is a journey. So It's very fun though. Love your energy, Natalie. I just joined Bright Lifers today. Ah, yay! So happy for you. That is so exciting and a great like support group to have. So fun. Well, I think we'll end here and then we'll be back next week, Thursday. I think Thursdays will be the days that we cook together and it's so fun. And 2:30 is a perfect time because it's right after lunch. You don't want to be cooking a lot of food when you're hungry because then everything is tempting. Am I right or am I right? And then it's easy to just, oh, I have something on my finger. Oh, don't do that. Sometimes you just gotta just hold your hands or I'm done cooking today. There's some confetti for you. Aw, thank you, Beth. That's what I needed. Who doesn't need just a little confetti in their life? Always have glitter or confetti in your pockets because you never know when you're going to need it. But don't do glitter because that stuff never goes away. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining me and cooking with me today. Definitely check out my website. Get volume 8. There's cinnamon donuts in there. There's, oh, just some yummy, like, barbecue chicken wraps. Oh, there's just a lot of yummy recipes in volume 8. Like, my recipes get more and more as I tune in things and grow in life and grow in the process and try new things. My recipes just become different and get new things because I'm always for, ooh, let's try this new thing. Let's try this new thing. So things grow and change and get more creative as we go. And then volume 9 is coming. I'm putting it together now already as volume 8 is just being printed and published. Volume 9 will be coming. And then when we hit volume 10, I'll put together another of the big cookbooks. So one of these. So once we hit volume 10, then there'll be one of these, volume 2. So that will be coming sometime pretty soon. And yeah, we're going to work on that holiday book because the holidays are almost here. The leaves are changing, school's getting back in, so things are coming up. So definitely, we're going to put together a holiday cookbook just because you asked me. This is why I like doing these things. I love working with you guys, finding what you like, finding your taste, because some things taste good to me, they don't taste good to you. Something tastes good to you that I'm like, oh, nobody would like this. All right, well, thank you for joining me. Hi, Amy. You can definitely watch this video again. I'll be posting the recipe in the comments, so be looking for that. Thanks for cooking with me, guys. Love you. With joy, Natalie.